The best piece of advice I have for someone trying to succeed in the film industry or any creative space is if you're doing what everyone else is doing, you're doing it wrong.
One of the best to ever do it.
What is freedom? I think I stole this from Bob Dylan, but maybe I stole this from Woody Guthrie. Freedom for me is waking up in the morning and going to sleep at night, and in between doing exactly what I want to do. What's the secret to happiness? The secret to happiness is finding something you love and then doing that for the rest of your life.
Hey everybody, and welcome to Site Review Tuesday. I'm Robert with Zenfolio Customer Success, and I want to say thank you for joining me. Now, here in a minute, we're going to get to reviewing one of your websites, and I do want to point out that while this has been pre-recorded, I'm hanging out in the chat, interacting with you guys live and answering your questions. Now, if you're interested in having your website reviewed, there's a link in the description below this video where you can submit your site. And in addition to getting a site review, I also offer a one-on-one session to each photographer who has had a site review done to help them answer any questions or assist in making any changes that they may want to make. Now, don't forget, we also live stream every Thursday at 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, so I hope to see you there. Let's get into the site review. All right, guys, welcome to Site Review Tuesday, and today we're going to be reviewing Anna Rainbow Photography, and that web address is www.annarainbowphotography.co.uk. And let's just go ahead and get started with the review. So, Anna, a couple of things here. I noticed one, you have the default Zenfolio favicon showing up here, which is perfectly fine. But to really give your site a nice custom look, you can definitely upload your own custom favicon here. And then also, up here in your header menu, it looks like you're utilizing just the display name, and you've got a pretty cool watermark going on right here. So you might think about combining that and turning that into some kind of logo and having that displaying up here. With any watermark or logo that looks like this, I would definitely recommend having your name off to the side and type, just so people can be sure to read it. But this would be really cool to see up here in your header instead of just the default watermark. Now, the images on your homepage here, you're using a, I think this is called a classic layout, where it's kind of got this slideshow in the center here. And this works really well if you're showing mixed aspect ratios of images, because it will force fit them into here. So I'm not sure if this is a portrait oriented image or not. I can't really tell, but it looks like most of the images that you're showing in here are landscape or horizontal images. And if that's the case, you could definitely use like a full screen layout if you wanted to get these images a little bit bigger. But this one is perfectly fine as well. I would just like to see the images take up a little bit more space here on the homepage. Going down here to the bottom, you have your visitor number showing. Not sure that's something that you want showing on your site or not. You do have links to all of your social media right here, which is really awesome. Great job having that set up. And then you have this recently added section here where any new galleries that you add kind of show up down here. If this is something you definitely want showing, I think that's perfectly fine. I would probably consider changing the grid option on these a little bit. You do have an option to customize these thumbnails, maybe make them a little bit larger, get rid of that overlay icon, get rid of some of this information, and just kind of show the title here on these. The one thing about having a recently added section on your site is that if that doesn't change often, that starts to look a little concerning to visitors if they're going to your website and the recently added hasn't changed in the past couple of years. It looks like you have the dates modified and stuff on here, so we can see when this was created and when it was modified, which is kind of cool. But again, is that information that you want showing on your homepage down here? Is this something that you want showing on your homepage? So just definitely something to consider. And then really quick, just to show you down here at the bottom, you don't have a lot going on down here in the bottom, which is perfectly fine. You've got it nice and clean in here, which I think is perfectly fine. So, so far, pretty good homepage setup. I like the number of images that you have. It's really apparent that you love photographing horses. You have some beautiful photos. If you do weddings, maybe it'd be nice to see a few more wedding photos as well, but I think that you've got this set up really nicely. Let's go up here and talk about your site menu a little bit. The navigation I feel like is a little confusing. It's not as obvious as it should be. If we hover over home, that's a drop down menu, and there is the only place that we find your portfolio. Now the other thing as well that I haven't mentioned so far is that as of right now, I have no idea what locations you work out of, what area you service. I have an idea that you're probably not in the States because of your .co.uk web address, but I have no idea where you're at. So definitely something to think about. Some kind of information you might want to include on your homepage is some kind of location information, so I can immediately identify, hey, this is a photographer that I could hire because they service my area, or maybe this is not somebody that I'm able to hire because they're not in my area. All right, let's go check out your navigation here. And again, this is a little confusing. I would probably recommend having your portfolio as its own site menu. Now, if you want to have drop downs inside of the portfolio going to specific portfolio galleries, I definitely recommend doing that. It's a much more efficient and streamlined way for visitors to navigate your site. However, I'm not really a big fan of having this portfolios and blog hidden under the home page here, or the home drop down here. It just doesn't make a lot of sense to me personally. But let's check out your portfolio. Okay, so here we are in the portfolio, and we're seeing some images right here on the slideshow. Now, one thing I noticed is that this is not a portfolio, so this is your all photographs group. I definitely do not recommend ever giving public access to your all photographs group. So if you want to do the whole portfolio group where they click on a menu item and they have a couple of different galleries to choose from, that's fine, but I would definitely not recommend letting people have access to your all photographs, because that's going to take them to where all of your galleries are, so including anything that's password protected or anything like that. So I would probably recommend creating a portfolio group if you want to do it this way. Now the other thing as well is that we have this slideshow going on here, and guess what? This is the same exact slideshow that was on the home page. So unless you're going to show different images here, I would get rid of this and just let us see the galleries, because already we're having to make one click to go to portfolios. Now we're seeing the exact same slideshow we were seeing on the home page, and then we have to scroll down, and now we have to click through our galleries that we want to look at. Another thing as well is you have a guest book showing right here with one guest book entry, and that guest book entry was in 2015, 4 years ago. So I would definitely think about maybe removing that guest book if you're not going to use it, or if it's not going to be updated frequently. Definitely consider removing that option. So for me, again, I would not do access to the all photographs group. I would take your specific portfolio galleries and put them in a group by themselves and then give access to that. And personally, I would do away with the slideshow and have those galleries up here more easily available. All right, but I would recommend considering having a portfolio drop down that links directly to specific galleries. It just makes it a lot easier and more efficient for your visitors to navigate to the galleries they want to see that way. All right, let's go ahead and check out a gallery here. So we're going to equestrian. And then again here, we're seeing this big image up here, which is perfectly fine. Let's go down here and take a look. So there are lots and lots and lots of galleries in here, okay? When you do a portfolio, really, you should be showcasing your 10 to 20 best images out of this category. Right now, it looks like I'm just seeing all of your equestrian galleries, which probably some of them are client galleries. This is not what I would recommend for a portfolio, because when visitors are coming to your site trying to decide if you're the photographer they want to hire, you need to lead them on a specific path. And that first path is to get them into a gallery of the photos that they're interested in and hype yourself up. Show them the best 10 to 20 images. So when you're building a portfolio, you need to think about, okay, if I could only show somebody 10 to 20 images to get them to hire me as a photographer in this genre of photography, what images would I show them? And that's the images that you should have in that portfolio gallery. It's perfectly fine if you want to have open gallery browsing. That's perfectly fine. I would separate that very specifically from your portfolio galleries. If you just want to have a link that says galleries or view more galleries, you can do that. But for visitors, get them directly to your best images so they can see your best work and make a decision. All right, but since we're seeing these galleries here, let's go ahead and click on one of these and just check them out. All right, so again, we've got lots of stuff up here on the top, lots of distracting elements, just lots of information here that doesn't really need to be here. And then you're also showing this banner up here, which is cropping your images. So I'm not sure this is the best experience. So you have this banner on up here. You have all of this information here that doesn't really make a lot of sense, and people probably really don't need to see. And then you have another big image here. And then finally inside of here, now we have other galleries. So at this point, if I'm a visitor just wanting to see your best work to try to decide if I want to hire you or not, I'm starting to get a little confused because I'm clicking around and I'm not getting directly to what's, really looking like a portfolio to me. Again, these look more like client galleries. So let's just take a look at the client galleries here. Now, I think the client galleries, this gallery right here set up is perfectly fine. All that distracting elements went away. There's not all that date created, number of items up here at the top. The photos are absolutely beautiful. I think you've done a great job setting this up. You have the favorite section on, which makes sense because this is actually a client gallery. It says Annie right here. But again, it's this stuff that needs to be publicly accessible from your homepage. Like as a visitor coming to your site, I'm confused if I should be even able to get into this or not. Maybe I'm wondering if I become a client, are people going to be able to get into my galleries? What if I don't want that to happen? Is that an option? The gallery is set up perfectly fine. It's just that I'm not sure I should be in this gallery or not. Now, in here in the gallery, another thing that you have going is you have this footer down here where it has client login, it has your about section, and then it has contact down here. So is this something you need showing? Is this information that you don't have up here, which it looks like you do? I usually turn that footer off unless there's some specific reason why I want to have it on. All right. Another thing that I'm not seeing so far, so again, let me show you why it's so important to have a portfolio section and why having those drop downs is nice. Because now as a client or as a visitor, if I wanted to go back and check out other portfolio galleries, if I don't realize that I can use this, then I'm looking up here going, okay, I have to go back to home, back to portfolios. And then now I kind of have to start this whole process over again. So it's not the best navigating experience. All right, same feedback for the weddings right here. Looks like I'm into client galleries. These don't look like portfolio galleries, even though it says portfolios. These look like client galleries to me. And then they're broken up into sections, which is nice. But again, I'm looking at this from a visitor's perspective. I want to just see the best of your work. I don't have to go through all of these galleries just to get a sense of your style and this sense of the quality of your work. So make that easy for me as a visitor. What do you guys think about in the chat? What do you guys think in chat about the way this is set up? Do you like the way it's set up with the leading to that all photographs? Do you think it's a little confusing? Let me know in chat what you guys think. One thing I will say though, Annie, is you have some, or Annie, is it Annie or Anna? It's Anna, I'm sorry. One thing I will say, Anna, is that you do have some absolutely beautiful photos. Your equestrian photos were just gorgeous. So we're gonna look a little bit more here really quick. So we've got parties right here. I'm assuming these are probably gonna be set up the same way. It looks like we've got a slideshow coming up right here and the gallery. So kind of basically the same setup. Let's take a look at families. So again, all of this looks to be set up the same, which I'll give you kudos for it being consistent. I would just definitely consider altering the navigation of your website. When you're creating your website and you're creating your navigation, you want to think of two audiences. You want to think first and primarily for your visitors, because the main purpose of your website should be to attract new clients. And so you want to think about people who have never connected with you before. When they're going to your website, where do you want them to go? What do you want them to see? What do you want them to do? You want to think of a clear path for them. And generally that clear path is, blow them away with your homepage images, get them to look at a portfolio gallery, and then get them to reach out and contact you. And that's kind of the path that you want to take for visitors and people who are not clients yet. Now, people who are your clients, having a client login or a client dropdown is perfectly fine. Again, you just want to make sure that you have two clear distinct paths, one for visitors and potential new clients, and then one for existing clients. And then if you sell work, you can have something set up as like a galleries, like if you want to let people view more of your photos. Maybe they're not client galleries, maybe they're like fine art or landscape galleries. You can definitely have like a galleries for sale or images for sale link as well. All right, let's check out your blog. Again, I'm not sure why the blog's under that home drop down. That is a little confusing to me, but let's check out your blog here. So let's see. It looks like we've got one. Let's see, older post. All right, so let's see. Let's go back and let's see when the last date of this post is, if I can see when it is here. All right, so this is May 29th. If you're going to do a blog, I think this is great. You got a lot of good text information here. If you're going to do a blog, I would recommend at least updating it at the bare minimum to once a month. For maximum benefit, I hear it's usually like 2 to 3 times a week, which will give you the best benefit out of your blog. But definitely, if you're going to have the blog up, I would definitely recommend at least doing a blog post once a month. It doesn't have to be anything big and fantastic. It could be just a recent photo and a short caption, but just something so that when people come to your blog, they see that you've done a blog post at least in that most recent month, and they don't begin to wonder about, well, are they still around? What's going on with them? You want that blog post to be current. All right, let's check out your client login page and see where this is going. So this is going to your gallery or client access page, and you got a little puppy dog right here. One of the things I always say about the client access page is this. These are for people who are already your clients. And so you have this image space right here. What better place to say thank you to them being a client than here on the client access page, because these are people who have already paid you, they're already working with you, and you could definitely use this page to get them to their galleries, but also just as a way to say, hey, thank you so much, I really appreciate you doing business with me, or just a nice personal message like that. Now, and one thing that I'm not sure of, and I am 3 site menu items in, and I'm still not sure where you work out of or where you work from, other than just I'm assuming that you're in the UK due to your web address. So hopefully that'll get cleared up here in the About section, but let's just take a look and see. So if we go to About, Equestrian Portraits, all right, so this is some information on how long the shoot cost, date and weather, and I got your email address right here, but I have no information on where you're located. So again, now I know how much it costs to hire you, but I'm still not sure if I can hire you or not. Let's go to wedding FAQs and see if this gives us any information. Again, I'm seeing like the same thing. I'm seeing that, this is information on how you shoot, what it's like to work with you. This is great information. One of the things that I would recommend is having call to actions in this page where it says, hey, if you're interested, click here to contact me. I know you have your contact link up here, but putting it in the text here to let them act on their urges. If they, if they have an impulse to contact you, they have a button right in front of their face to do that. But I'm still not sure where you are located. I see no location information at all. So let's go to the next one, commercial. All right, let's see, commercial. It looks like this is going to be kind of the same thing down here. Now you do have a feel free to contact me with questions, and this is a copy paste email address. You can go back into that custom page, Anna, highlight this text and turn it into a hyperlink, an email hyperlink, to where all they have to do is click on that instead of copying and pasting your email, and it's going to make it even faster for them to contact you. But again, I still have no idea where you work out of. So it hasn't been on any of these pages so far. So let's see if we can find out on the contact page. So finally here on the contact page, we get some information right here. I'm not familiar with the United Kingdom, so I'm not sure if this means you're close to somebody or not. But that, just to let you know, that's your last site menu item. So you are hoping that your visitors get all the way to here to find out if you even service their area or not. And so that is a big stretch. You want to make sure that you have that information presented earlier. A couple of good places to present that location information is on your homepage. And then if you actually do portfolio galleries, your galleries can have captions. And in those captions, you can talk about the specific locations that you like to shoot. And what you're doing is you're helping your SEO by doing that, but you're also letting people know, hey, these are the areas that I like to shoot. This is where I work out of. You know, this means I'm either close to you or I'm not, based on your location, and you're letting people know that. So overall, I will have to say one of the things that I've noticed that's been consistent is your colors and your site setup. So good job on that. I think that your navigation can really use an overhaul. I just feel like it's really confusing. There's not really a outlined path for me to follow if I'm a visitor. You got the client section set up just fine, the client login, that's easy to do. But if I'm a visitor, right, you want to take me on a specific path. You want to show me your best work. You want to maybe let me know a little bit more about you, and then you want to get me to contacting you. And I just don't see a direct path for that to follow. The other thing as well is your portfolios. It takes a lot of navigation, and I never really felt like I landed on a true portfolio where I was seeing the best of your work. And you have some unbelievable photos. They're absolutely beautiful. I think you have a really great style. Your horse photos were amazing. Your wedding photos were beautiful. And I just think that if you kind of cleared up this navigation a little bit more, made it a little bit more easier for me to follow, and then you actually created some true portfolio galleries and you linked them from a drop-down menu of their own and not under this home tab, I think that that's going to just increase the success of your site. I do want to say thank you so much for submitting your website to be reviewed. I hope this was helpful. Just a few small changes that you need to make and you'll have a great website. And I wish you the most success here on Zenfolio, and thank you again for submitting your site. Hey, thank you guys so much for watching that site review. If you found this video helpful, please make sure to give it a thumbs up, and if you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure that you click that subscribe button and hit the little bell icon so you get notified when we post videos and when we go live. Now, if you're interested in having your site reviewed, there's a link in the description below this video where you can submit your website for that. And in addition to getting a site review, you're also going to get a link where you can schedule a session with me. We're going to go over your website, go over the review. I'll answer any questions that you have and help you make any changes that you're interested in making. So the link to sign up for that is in the description below this video. Now, don't forget, Zenfolio Live coming up this Thursday at 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Hope to see you guys there. Until then, I hope you have a great week.